Gunther.
Here.
James.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Rhodes.
Here.
Simmon.
Here.
If we could rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mark the agenda. Any changes?
No changes, Mayor.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes of two meetings, April 21 and May 12. Do I hear a motion for approval of those minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there additions, corrections, anything on those minutes? Anyone? Hearing none, all those in favor of the minutes say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. I think Karen Manosky has a special order today.
I do.
Do you?
Do you want me to go to the podium?
Yes, please.
Would you like to bring him? Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I'm very excited to introduce you to our new Deputy Clerk, Trina Poulos. So you know Trina, she's been around here since 2019. 2019. So she will still be in Public Works for a couple more weeks. She'll join us the first part of June, June 2nd, I think it is. And so she comes with a great, obviously, work ethic and attitude and a lovely disposition, and I'm super excited to work with her, so
Thank you. Trina, anything?
I love her.
You don't have to, but if you have anything to
I'll
say.
be running the next meeting, so be patient with me.
She will be.
Any questions? Commission, public? Welcome to that division, Trina.
Thank
She
you.
sat at that desk in Public Works, and that's a hard job. I don't know if the new one is, but you did a lot of work for this city and did a great job at it, so I'm glad you're still with us and still here. Anybody? Mark, anything?
No, very thrilled, very thrilled to have you in that role.
Very good, thanks. Thanks both.
Thank you.
Study session, Josh. Didn't we just have a meeting with you, Josh, over there?
Yeah, you can't get rid of me that easily.
Now, where's the slideshow,
I
Josh?
have a slideshow for you.
Oh, Josh.
No, but you will see the projected 2025 pool schedule in your packets. So real quick, I'd like to just kind of rehash 2024, give you the Cliffs Notes version, and then we'll talk about the plan for 2025. 2024 open swim user increased by an average of 49 people per day for open swim. Swim lessons, there was a user increase by an average of 120 people per day. Water aerobics, we had 75 people signed up last year, and we averaged 30 in attendance each day of water aerobics classes. Swim passes were used. They were used to expedite the check-in process of the day users to the point where we had over 2,000 purchased and out to people. Number of people lost them, but they still expedited the process for checking people in. We're still going to do that again this year, I think, but we're going to do a little bit more training for people as to how they work so that they actually remember to use them. There were a lot of new people who had never been to our pool last year. The extra hour at the end of the day where we extended the time to 9 p.m., we saw enough usage that we're going to continue to do that again this year. And last year, due to an outstanding donation that was made, we had swimsuits available for those who couldn't afford their own or did not have their own, and we actually have enough stock going into this season that we should be able to continue that practice this year as well. With that being said, the 2025 season, the plan is to do opening week, the week of June 9th. We'll be training our staff on these days and offering registration from 1 p.m. to 8:45 p.m., as well as doing evening open swim from 5 p.m. to 8:45 p.m. The week of June 16th, we'll continue training our staff in the mornings, but then we'll be opening for open swim from 1 to 4:45, and then also from 5:45 to 8:45 p.m. This will be the first week of our senior water aerobics that will run from 4:50 p.m. to 5:50 p.m. Monday through Friday. The week of June 23rd, we will run lessons from 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 5 weeks, with open swim running from 1 p.m. to 4:45 p.m. and 6 p.m. to 8:45 p.m. during these weeks. We'll also run lessons from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Tuesday and Thursday, and then also 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Saturday, also for a 5-week period, with open swim running from 1 p.m. to 4:45 on Tuesday and Thursdays. Our 5-day per week classes will continue to be water babies from 11:10 to 11:40, handicap swim from 11 to 11:50, and basic water safety from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. The week of August 4th, we actually have an interested party who would like to offer competitive swim camp for the week from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., Monday through Friday, and then open swim hours will run from 1 to 8:45. There will be no break for water aerobics from 4:50 to 5:50, but we know that a number of those participants from that group will still be coming and doing their exercises, so we will accommodate them accordingly. The last day of the pool is scheduled to be August 15th. The pool will close at 5 p.m. And the dog day that we did last year, which was actually a decent success, decent turnout, we would be projecting to do that Saturday, August 16th. One other note is that I would like to coordinate a pig roast again this year, just working out the details on a date and how that will work. Final notes, really, the Mars site is patchable again. For the season, we can get through it as we need to, but it will be a need to be addressed soon. I will be meeting with our new pool committee for the Park and Rec Board in the next month or so, and we will be discussing the master plan for the pool. We have Tyler Schuberg, who is interested in leading a fundraising effort for the pool, so we'll be connecting him with the pool committee as well regarding these efforts. And then for our staffing, which is probably one of our biggest things that we need to pay attention to with the number of people that have come to the pool over the last year. We have 40 plus members on our staff this season. We have plenty of checkers and swim instructors, as well as aides for those swim lessons. And then we have 20 plus lifeguards as well, which should also help with the increase in attendance for lessons and open swim. We anticipate a very busy and safe summer at the pool.
If you have all those volunteers, Josh, you can extend a little, huh?
Oh,
Sounds
they're
like you have
all
a lot of
back to
volunteers.
school. Yeah, they're all back to school.
They all go back to college.
College and high school, yeah. Yep. And I lose a lot of them even in that last week or two
Yeah.
because all their spring or fall sports start up, so they're all heading off to their training.
You didn't mention percentage increase in the 2 years. I know it went up, but what were the increases in general usage in percents?
Oh, I don't know in percentage. I just know we averaged 49 people more each day.
I don't
for
know how
open
many you
swim.
have in a day. How many do you have in a day?
So it was, those numbers were from 116 to roughly 162.
Pretty good size increase. Other questions for Josh? Josh, what was going on last week at the pool with the plumbing?
We had a burst pipe, but we've gotten that taken care of, and then Northwest Kent has actually been there to fix the rest of the issue that actually continued underground. But everything seems to be fixable, and we should be able to open on time.
Other questions for Josh? Thanks, Josh.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Josh, are you running it again this year?
Yeah, I'm moving my office down there in the next 2 weeks.
Because in the past, we've always had other managers, and I think Josh got tired and said, I'm just gonna do it. Is that right?
When Pat left and we had Andrew DeFever, he did a great job for us, but his time in the summers, he wanted to allocate more to his family. We tried it one season without someone who had experience with the pool, and after that season, I just said it might be easier if I do it myself.
Thank you for doing it.
Of course.
Appreciate it hugely. All right, very good. That's a positive study session. Public comment, not related items on the agenda. Please, Wendy. I'll memorize her address pretty soon, but it's in Big Rapids.
Yeah, no, I gotta stay up here. Wendy Nystrom, 530 Winter Avenue. After a little discussion, I just wanted to let you know by two county commissioners, I have been approved to represent the city for MODA as your recommendations. I kind of laughed. And other thing I just wanted to bring up to the community, even there's not very many people here this time. The county commission met the meeting of a whole to discuss their marijuana excise tax. And Green Township is asking for $200,000 of that money. And it was approved to stay on there, but they may reduce it. So if you think that we should be paying Green Township's legal fees, please contact your county commissioner and tell them how you feel about that. Me personally, I don't think I should have to pay for Green Township's, even if it comes out of the marijuana money. That should be used to help people. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, any other comments? Anyone? Steve, anything off the top? Officer, we're kind of light today on people. The next is a public hearing. This public hearing is to finish up the Hemlock Park project and all the money we received. Mark, explain why you do a hearing at the end of the project. It's kind of new here.
Right, it's unique, and when you get the federal funding, which is the Community Development Block Grant funding, it's one of the requirements is to have public hearings both at the beginning and at the end. We did a public hearing last time for our application to apply, but that was another CDBG. I'm just using that as an example. This is to close out a project. That's the Hemlock Park project. Megan wrote a nice position paper or review of it. It's interesting. I'll highlight in here on the third paragraph. Overall construction came in slightly under budget. So good work to all the staff and Fleece and Vandenbrink who were checking all the I's and dotting all the T's to make sure that we promised what we said we would and came in under budget. I'm excited about that. But really, Mayor, this is just a required part of the process, and we are all thrilled with the results of the Hemlock Park Improvement Project and look forward to our grand opening this weekend.
Just for my education, they must be doing this in case public have grouches about how it finished or something?
I'm assuming that is the rationale, yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna read it again. I did it twice last week. This is exciting. Public hearings are designed to be a time for the commission to receive the opinions of various parties and to gather information in order to make an informed decision when the matter comes before the commission for action. It is not a time for either commission or public debate. That opportunity has already passed. Bang the gavel. The public hearing to receive comment on the subject of CDBG Hemlock Park is now open. Does staff have any comments? Would the interested parties like to make any comments? The commission will now take comments from the public according to the format of one person speak in favor, followed by one person against, etc., etc. Who would like to address the commission in favor? Kathy, do you have any comments or anything?
I'm all for it. It's awesome.
Who would like to address against the parks? The public portion of this hearing is closed. Thank you all for your input. I have to do it. Mark's like the result. The commission comments on this topic will be reserved for and will take place in the general business portion. It's over. There we go. General business, resolution accepting an audit proposal from, how do you say it?
Cambridge.
Gaybridge. Please, Carla.
You have in front of you a resolution to accept the proposal from Gaybridge and Company. We had to send out audit bids for this fiscal year. And we had 3 that came in, and Gaybridge was the lowest and the best bid for fiscal year 24-25. The amount that we're asking to be awarded for that package is $32,240, and that's for fiscal year 24-25. We had them as our auditors in 2013 through 2018 and had good working relations with them.
Thank you. Carla, where do you publish desires for auditors?
We publish it goes in the paper, the Pioneer. It's also on our city website, and then we also send out to firms. We'll send out a bid packet to them.
To every firm that does audits? Or
No.
How do you decide who gets
We
a
just,
bid package?
actually, we Google it and see what's out there, and kind of look and see who they audit to see if they would be a good fit for our community, our size.
Thank you. Questions from the commission? Anyone, public? Hearing none, do we have a motion for the resolution accepting the Gaybridge Auditing Company?
So moved.
Second.
And further discussion? Anyone? Could you call the question, please?
James,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Simmon,
Yes.
Gunther.
Yes. Next is a resolution to continue our agreement with the Michigan Department of Transportation Aviation Division regarding operation and maintenance of a weather observation and data dissemination system at Robin Hood. Do you want to talk about it, Steve?
Yeah, I can go up there.
How often do we do this? I don't remember it.
Yeah, you would probably remember this one. So, we've done this one, I believe it's every 2 years is the contract term. So raise it up a little bit. The AWAS system at the airport, that's automated weather observation station. It's used by aviators for flight planning, and when they're on approach, they can dial into the frequency and then hear what the live conditions are on the ground. It's also used by a lot of different resources, like if you look at the National Weather Service, you'll see it says the weather at Robin Hood Airport. They're also looking at that information, so it's used by a lot of different mediums, but primarily to serve the aviation community. And so MDOT's got the expertise and the ability to maintain the station. They have the technicians to work on it, to make sure it's calibrated. They've been on top of everything as far as they continue to look at the information, and if it seems that something might be off, they get right with us and get right on it for repairing it and all that. So yeah, so this contract is just another maintenance contract. You'll see on there that it's a 50% match, you know, for any stuff that has to be worked on and things. That's been minimum over the years. And again, we have a good working relationship with MDOT.
Do we have to have it if we have an airport? Or is it an elected thing?
So it is a service we provide. You know, there are some airports that don't have an observation station.
So you don't have to have it. But
You don't have to have it, but
good
it's
if you
a
do.
good measure, yeah, especially with corporate activity. Yep.
Thank you. Questions for Steve? Anyone? Hearing none, do I hear a motion for the resolution, and there's the number of it for the weather observation?
So moved.
Second.
And further questions before we vote? Could you call the question, Karen, please?
Johnson,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Simmon,
Yes.
Gunther,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Next is a resolution to talk about the purchase. Is it extrication or extraction, or what is the word there?
It's extrication. It's extrication.
Not S. With an
Extraction.
I or an A?
Yeah.
Oh,
Aye, extrication. So, you know, and I mean, extraction probably would work as well, so, but, yeah, either one. Somewhat interchangeable, but the
Kathy-
industry term is
Kathy, you're the
extrication.
journalist. Is it extrication or extrication?
Extrication would be the correct term.
That's right.
Thank
There you go. There you go. Yep.
Anyway, Steve, what did you want to buy?
Yeah, so we had submitted this through the CIP process, a request for battery-powered extrication equipment. So currently what we use is the Jaws of Life, if you've heard of the Jaws of Life. So car accident response, they're used to cut metal, bend metal, get patients out of a vehicle if they're stuck in that. They also have other applications like steel doors. We can use them to get through steel doors if we need to, rebar, cut through there. So, you know, there's a lot of different applications for these tools. And we do use them quite often. We're just over 40 car accidents this year already. So, I mean, the potential is high there too. So our current tools, we have to get them out. We have a hydraulic pump that comes out, and then we have to connect hoses to it, and then we connect the tool to it. It's a gas-powered engine, so we have to fire it up, we'll let the pressure build, and then we go to work. While crews are very efficient with that, it's still not as fast as this newer battery-powered technology. These units actually will come off the truck with the battery attached or right there in the proximity to it to lock in. And as soon as they step off, they're ready to go to cutting. So they don't have to set everything up. They're also nicer because sometimes car accidents can be down embankments, can be off the road and things like that. And currently we have to haul all that heavy tools into the woods to do that. These tools will just carry the tools down there and get to work. So they're very efficient. They've been out for quite a while. The cost was pretty high on them when they first came out, like any technology. They've always been a tool that would improve our efficiency and our response and time to patient. However, we've had other priorities through the CIP process that we've had to address. So we did have them written for the 26-27 CIP request. All the while, we've been attempting to get grants for these tools, and we were awarded one from TC Energy here. So we wrote for TC Energy on a no-match grant. They awarded us $28,820 on the grant, which was great. So that allowed us to purchase these battery set of tools. In the process, we had been over the past few years trying out and demoing different sets, different manufacturers, things like that. And the Amkis brand was the ones that we got to, both functionality and the use of them. We really liked the options on them, and that was really across the board with all the firefighters. Those were the tools. Reaching out to Dingus Fire Supply, which you might recognize that name. We purchased from them before. They are the Amkis dealer for the area, so we reached out to them looking to get an updated quote. And their salesman, the local salesman, had told us that they had a actual used set that they had used for schools, similar to like MOISD technical school, where classes they may have made some cuts for education, but they were otherwise brand new tools. And they were willing to quote those for what's in your packet there. So they quoted those slightly used tools for $21,631.67, which the full quote on the tools would have been $29,215. So pretty significant savings by going to those used tools. We reached back out to TC Energy because the grant was for the battery tools and asked them if we went that route, if we still had the full amount or to reduce. They did agree that we could purchase additional extrication equipment with the remaining funds, which would allow us to get their like a plastic polymer cribbing blocks. They're blocks we use to stabilize vehicles and things. Currently we have wood blocks that are heavier, and of course they break and things like that, but these plastic ones are really nice. So we're gonna be able to use the remaining funds for that, up to the grant amount. So what we're asking for tonight is the approval from the commission to go ahead and purchase those used set of tools for the $21,631.67 under the grant.
You've eyeballed these used ones?
Yeah, these used ones have been viewed by the crew as well as we do trust the salesman as well in those because we've seen those tools, so slightly used. They have those, and then they also have actual demo tools. And the demo tools, I can tell you, they're used by firefighters in that. So these are, nicer tools. I did confirm with the salesman as well, and they do carry a 9-year warranty still on them. So from the original 10, so they do have a warranty attached to them, which would be great. And we can take delivery of them, assuming the commission wants us to move this direction. We could get them as early as the end of this week.
Oh my. Mark?
Mayor, the comment is just a little awkward, but it's a required thing because of our charter. So we have a written recommendation that is Steve's position paper to waive, I guess is the best term, Brad, the requirement of bidding. Because this is over 7,500, and that is, as per the charter, it is required to be in writing. I just wanted that to be clear and for the record. And the other part is this is a 4/5 vote to pass because of those same
Because of
requirements.
overriding the chart.
Yes. I just wanted you to be.
Any comment, Brad?
No, that Mark stated it accurately, that this would be a four votes required because you're waiving the 7,500. Even though it's grant funding, it's still a purchase, so.
Very good. Questions anyone has?
Is there anyone else that would sell us the Amkis equipment?
You know, I am not entirely sure if there's any other ones in the region. I don't believe there is because these dealers cover a broad circle. Like for instance, Dingus Fire Supply has the Amkis contract, and we can't even buy from another Dingus salesman. So we have to go from our local
So
gentleman.
they
So-
kind of set the rules. So what I was
Yeah.
getting at is it would be very difficult for you to even get competitive quotes.
It would, and especially on a used set. here. Yep.
Even the manufacturers kind of, they have it set up who they sell to and where, I don't see a problem with this. It's a sole source with very significant justification in my mind, so.
Thank you. Others, please? Community, anyone? Do I hear a motion for the purchase of the Dingus extraction stock equipment?
So moved. Second.
Further questions? Hearing none, could we call the question, please?
Rhodes,
Yes.
Simmons,
Yes.
Gunther,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
It seems like firemen always get whatever they want, doesn't it?
Oh, that's very, very true, right, Steve?
To
Well-
be fair, we want, to be fair, we want them to have the right equipment to stop our house from burning down.
Is that battery from Goshen?
We're
or
ex-
who
we're
is the
excited.
battery?
No comment. We're gonna, we're excited with the grant funding too on that, so.
How does TC Energy, do they have it like a wide open bidding thing, or do you just go to them and ask, do you have any money for us?
Yeah, they have a grant process through their website, and they've been very generous to the city of Grand Rapids as well,
Yes,
so.
they have.
We had actually our grass rigs, we had new pumps done, those pumps were also on that grant program a few years back, so.
So you just see them open up a grant and you go for it?
Yeah,
It's like any-
pretty much on a somewhat regular basis, we'll submit on that, but yeah, again, they're very generous to our community, so,
Thank you, Steve.
thank you.
Enjoy your new
Extrication.
I have to admit that when I saw the ion spreader on the list, I thought it was Star Wars
Yeah,
technology.
there's an ion spreader.
Those would probably be more efficient.
Is there unscheduled business from anyone in the room, commissioners included?
I just wanna mention one
I
thing.
knew you'd say something about it. I had it in my hand.
Because it's the week before we're doing it, this Saturday, we have the grand opening of the splash pad. So anybody watching at home or anybody in the crowd, make sure you come out.
I think it's gonna be hugely attended, that's my guess.
Agreed.
Free lunch too, if you get there soon enough, pulled pork.
Hot
The-
dogs,
And hot dogs, the Lions are doing it and
snow
paying for it.
cones. all that
Which are
good
you
stuff.
doing?
What's that?
Which one are you doing, snow cones or
Yeah, probably snow.
anybody else?
What time?
11.
Yep.
They say the food will be gone by 11:30, so you gotta get there early. Anything? We're adjourned. That was about the easiest meeting in the whole world.